Welcome to another edition of Strum and Scribe with Sir Garroton and Lord Pinky.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is our second time doing it. And we've had nothing but troubles with mics again.
Oh,
If we ever release the first podcast, you'll remember.
right.
We had lots of trouble with setting things up.
Oh, yeah. I think we finally figured it out.
Yeah, we're using a new board, or an old board, but a better board than what we were
Yes.
using before for mixing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a big learning curve.
Yes, it was.
For some reason, I thought I'd just come up here and hit record, because we had done this before, but we had not done anything like this before.
Right.
Because it's all new equipment.
Yeah. Who would have known that phantom power was so important?
Yeah, he's using a condenser mic. I'm using a, what is this thing called? A dynamic
I
mic?
guess so, yeah.
Yeah, and this board hates it that we have to do those two different things.
And it is 420, by the way. Sorry, I didn't mean to change so quick, but
Yes.
happy 420 to anybody
Happy 420.
who is celebrating
I am not.
tonight.
I am not, because my work drug tests.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like I
No,
can't be a
wonder
part of
where-
that. What are you doing? What are you
We
looking
have
for?
no idea where it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
The thing that doesn't exist.
Right.
Actually-
Another good thing
Yeah.
that we kind of figured out was some of the intro and outro
Yeah,
music.
Just a few minutes ago, he was playing me a bunch of recordings that he did off of his pedal and amp system.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guitarist, of course.
Looper pedal. Yeah.
He created some nice things. We were looking for intro music for the podcast.
I think we landed on one.
I was being a real bitch about some of the stuff he was showing me a few days ago. I'm like, no, none of this is good. You're a terrible
and it
musician.
wasn't. It was all bad.
I was just looking for something very specific that felt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know what I'm talking about now, audience, because you will hear it at the beginning of this podcast.
Right.
You have heard the music that we chose
Mm-hmm.
to be the intro to Strum and Scribe.
Right. And funny enough, it was actually the first one that I played for you.
Yeah, he had a whole list of like 80 million songs he wanted to play for me.
At least 80
And the
million.
very first one just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the one. And he's like, no, well, it's good, but let's try some others. And I'm like, yeah, all right, those are good. That one's terrible. No, but it always came back to that first one.
Yeah.
It
turned
really
out-
resonated.
right.
Yeah,
I think.
I liked it.
We'll see. You'll hear. Judge for yourself.
What guitar did you use?
On that particular one, it was the Gretsch hollow body.
That sounds awesome. I don't
Yeah.
know what that is, but it sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it's a great guitar. It's an Gretsch Electromatic. I bought it in 2013, so I've had it for 5 years now.
Any sort of distortions or settings that you put on it to record that?
Yeah, just a little bit of overdrive, probably. Not too much distortion, and probably just some reverb. And
Nice.
then the tremolo on the actual guitar that gives it a little bit of, I guess, shimmer, if you will.
Yeah,
And
it shimmered.
oh, it did.
Yeah.
And just some layered tracks is what really filled it out.
Beautiful. I don't know what any of that really means, but I thought it was lovely. And it's good that we know.
Oh,
Yeah.
and another thing we're working on, our logo.
Oh, a logo. That's right. That's actually the first thing I put on here on my my notes. I want to talk about the logo. You'll be seeing a logo if you've clicked on this podcast to listen to it. The logo is there. Now, what that looks like, we at this time don't entirely know.
Yeah, I critiqued all his work just like he did mine.
Yeah, exactly. We critiqued each other.
And the good thing about it is that we challenged one another.
Exactly.
You know,
Pushed us farther than we would have gone otherwise.
probably so.
Into madness.
And the cool thing is that the logo you're now working on is, to me, so much more. It's just more fitting. And
Yeah.
it just looks way more artistic to me,
The-
design-wise, you know.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the one that I was working on, he was like, yeah, that looks good. That looks good. For a while, for like a week, I was just working on it in Illustrator, and I got done with it. And it was pretty much when I was done that I started to get a sense that he's not actually going to want this. I waste all that time.
Oh, this is the sort of relationship
Yeah.
you want in this sort of partnership.
And so I showed him a sketch that I did sitting on the toilet for a new logo.
Ooh.
And he's like, all right, that's better.
Much better.
But then he's finally told me what he could have told me at the beginning was Art Deco. That was his main thing that he kept to himself until late in the game. He was like, nothing would have been good because it wasn't Art Deco. So what was your obsession with Art Deco?
I don't know. It just seems so classic.
It is. It's beautiful.
It's
There's no denying Art Deco is beautiful.
But it seems to be something that you see often in logos that do really well.
What does that mean, man? You think the Pepsi logo is Art Deco?
No.
Or the Coca-Cola? I mean,
I'm not saying all of them.
Oh, okay.
No.
Just some that
saying
ones that have resonated with you.
There's a trend now with
Is
all
there?
this. Yeah, I think so.
Is it a Kansas City thing?
I'm not really sure. I have a buddy who will probably end up on this podcast eventually. He's a, complete asshole, so we got to have him on.
That fits well.
Yeah, it'll be perfect. But no, but he's great. But anyway, he's been working on some stuff, and all the stuff that is really doing well and getting a lot of positive feedback as far as sales and that kind of stuff. There's a hint, at least a hint of Art Deco in it.
Okay, so everything you know about graphic design is coming from this guy who's telling you Art Deco is the wave of the future.
No, because I look at a lot of logos.
Which is a wave of the past.
I work with another guy, and I look at a lot of logos with him.
Okay.
And he's a graphic designer.
Your job isn't looking at logos, though.
No, but we waste a lot of time.
We'll get into what we do later, because that's actually another point I put in my notes. We'll talk about what we do for a living.
Oh, I guess so.
So he's finally said Art Deco is where we're going. Or that's what I want. And he showed me some references. Now this got me crazy because he's like, all right, Art Deco like Sherlock Holmes or 19th century stuff, and I'm like, Sherlock Holmes and Art Deco are not the same thing. Then he showed me images of Sherlock Holmes books done in Art Deco form, and I'm like, what the fuck? This does not go together. Why is this happening?
And then I think you finally said to me, that Sherlock Holmes and Art Deco were like totally two different
when
periods.
Sherlock Holmes was being written in the Strand magazine or something like that, that was, London, turn of century, and Art Deco was nowhere to be seen in London 30s, at that time.
30s, 40s United States.
20s even.
20s even?
Yeah, turn of the century.
Okay.
It's called American exceptionalism. And that's what got me, because you and me, we don't ooze American exceptionalism. And so I didn't understand the Art Deco thing. But I was so frustrated with him not wanting to go forward with my other designs. I'm like, all right, we're going to do Art Deco. But then, finally...
Don't you like it?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. You showed me, was just a couple days ago,
the logo
for
in,
Tomstown
Distillery.
In Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
Now that...
It's named after Boss Tom Pendergast.
I don't know who that is. Fuck him.
That era.
Fuck him in the ass.
Yeah. Well, I tried.
No, anyways, but when I saw the art in that logo, suddenly I was like, oh, wait a minute. I could envision this. This feels like us.
Yeah.
All the other stuff with Art Deco is beautiful. I love Art Deco. My favorite game, or one of my favorite games, is BioShock, and it's just all Art Deco all the time, and I love it. But I never really understood how that would connect to us, because I didn't think that we felt Art Deco. But that logo, I was like, that feels like us.
Yeah.
That feels good.
And you'd even mentioned the colors, black and gold.
Yeah,
which
and
is kind of cool.
Had that too.
Something that they do.
So
their logo.
I'm going to take a design that I gave him. I'm going to use a lot of that inspiration, some of those lines, and I have ideas that I think will excite him that he doesn't even know yet for that logo.
Oh God!
And you've seen it, listeners. You've seen the logo. It's
at this point.
At this point, we have not. It's all in my head.
Right.
And even that is half formed.
Things.
Yeah, there's plenty in there. Oh.
And yet, not much.
Not much.
Not at all. That's my job.
So one of the things that I thought that we should continue on from the first podcast, if we ever even release it, I don't know. We probably will. We probably
go
will.
in the vault. You may never hear it.
No, you'll hear it, people. You'll hear it. Was more about who the fuck we are, and why they. Well, I was going to say why they should listen to us, but they shouldn't listen to us. I mean, there's nothing about us that says they should listen to us. But maybe you are listening because you think we're interesting. Who the fuck knows? But you should know more about us, right?
Sure.
I mean, you feel you're listening to us. Maybe you want to know more about us.
I guess so.
And I thought we should explain we're two creatives.
I guess so, yeah.
In different avenues, but we're two creatives who are living a 9-to-5 type of life.
Yeah.
Not doing creative stuff.
Yeah.
Like we have jobs that we do because we're good at, but it's as non-fulfilling, I guess, as you could imagine a creative would need.
Yeah.
I mean, we make money. We do our thing. What do you do, Joe?
Well, now I'm maintenance and events supervisor for a new facility in Johnson County, Kansas. That's about a year old. Yeah, it's fantastic. There are times when you go in and you're feeling that positive energy, and you're all working together, and lubing each other up with mayonnaise and horseradish mustard, and
this is what we do here.
And pushing each other in the bushes and down the stairs, and
no,
it makes it all worthwhile.
What are you really doing?
But
what do you do?
Okay. Well,
I mean, do you actually organize events?
To a degree, I don't organize them. Most of the time they're organized by the person who's renting the space.
Okay.
The outside,
but they got to go through you.
They go through the person who essentially sells them the space, and then I'm their real first point of contact when they get there.
Okay.
Like, I take care of all their audio-visual. I set up their laptops for them.
You tell them don't scratch any of the walls.
Pretty much.
Don't pee on the floor.
Yeah,
unless it's that kind of party.
Don't spread your butt cheeks and
slide
rub it up and down the pole.
That's exactly what I would do the first time I was there. Ooh, well, get some poles. Get the butts open.
Well, that's always the top of my list.
And this is a fairly new job for you. I mean, you've been building up to it for a long time.
Yeah. I took my first maintenance job where all I did was fix stuff at a hotel.
He knows how to fix stuff. I do not. I can't fix anything. I'm useless. But this guy, he's a professional fixer.
Oh, God. I don't know about that. But yeah, that was a decade ago.
Wow.
When I did that. And every chance I got since,
You stabbed someone in the back to get higher up the ladder?
Pretty damn much.
Fuck this guy.
And it worked.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you're doing well.
No, I'm doing fine now, I guess. But like you said, I've been having this conversation with another person who will hopefully come here someday and be here with us.
Which conversation?
Just the conversation about
not being
us
fulfilled.
Being creative.
Okay, yeah. And
not being fulfilled. And the other guy I was talking about earlier is in the same position.
So yeah, I'm in the same position. I'm a techie kind of guy. I've had a few jobs here and there where I worked in the tech field. I don't have a degree in any. This is just stuff that I've picked up along the way. But I currently work as a bench tech tester for electronics, control boards for heating and air conditioning systems, and it's not fulfilling to a creative mind. It's very tech oriented. There's some troubleshooting and some repairing and soldering and programming and all that stuff. But it does not fulfill a creative spirit. But I do it and I'm good at it. And they haven't fired me yet after, 5 years. Mm-hmm. And I made it through the rehiring process of the company that recently bought us out. So I feel kind of secure in that. But I'm always kind of wishing that I could leave it all and just write.
Right.
Just because that's what I do. And I do a lot of writing.
Are you still finding time to...
Well,
get
most
stuff
of my
down?
writing now is doing the reviews.
Oh, that's right.
I write for a website called theheadphonelist.com. And they do high-end in-ear monitors, headphones, digital analog converters.
Like the one we hooked up earlier.
Exactly. Speakers, shit like that. So I get those equipment, and I listen to them, test them, and write reviews about them. And
You work in a cave, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, there's a Parkville Underground is what it's called.
Okay.
And it's some tunnels that they built in to the university where they have office space in there. So, I mean, you're going into a cave, but it doesn't really
feel like a cave.
Well,
it's not like going into like...
I mean, it feels like a cave as you're driving through it, but then there are legitimate offices in there.
Yeah.
And they look like any office, except there's no windows because you're underground. But yeah, that I want to get back into writing creatively. The reviews are nice. They kind of fulfill a bit of that because I write my reviews in a kind of a creative way.
Okay,
but it's not the
still
same.
Get to read any of them.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
They're shit. But it's not the same as my novel writing. Which is 100% creation and storytelling and art, and that I haven't been doing nearly enough of, and it's kind of been building in my heart, trying to poison.
To do it again.
Yeah. Start back into it. But I just feel like I don't have the time.
Yeah. I was talking with somebody the other day. I've been talking to this person a little bit lately just about this kind of stuff. And, occasionally people bring up, when you're off on the weekends, then that's when you do your creative stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then,
to a degree.
But when you've been at this thing all week and you've done this for 40 plus hours, by the time you're done,
you don't have much in you. And yeah, you're not ready to engage in the strenuous mental exercise of being a creative.
Right.
You need to sort of decompress from the monotony of your work life.
It just sucks all those juices right
It really
out of your
does.
ass.
Yeah. I mean, running around doing whatever you do is exhausting, but sitting there just thinking about creative stuff is exhausting.
It really is.
Writing and creating music, I'm sure, is the same way.
Yeah, it is.
How does that feel to you, like when you're just trying to sit down with your guitar on the weekend?
Yeah. Well, it's very rare that lately I've been doing it again, but it's been a long time since I've sat down with any purpose.
Yeah.
Like, I've sat down to play, but that was it.
Around. Yeah.
Yeah. And it used to be years ago that when I did sit down and play, something creative would just happen. Almost every day. Really.
It's not happening like that anymore?
No, not like it was. And a lot of it, I think, is just the busyness of life, that has gotten in the way. And, it's another part of it is just seasons of your life.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And plus where you are, in your own life, in your own, psyche, and
I've definitely
how your whole world
you go through dry zones where you just can't seem to do anything.
And now I'm actually feeling like something's starting to change again.
Me too. Yeah,
it's kind of neat.
It's like you're not waking up every morning creating music. No. I'm not waking up every morning writing, but I'm feeling the juices demand that I release them somehow. Yeah, I know that sounds very sexual, and hell, it might as well be.
Yeah,
but that's how it feels. Like, it feels like there's a build up, and you need a release, and you need to start. And so I've been making some changes in my life, specifically to sort of organize myself in a way where maybe I could sit down and write more. I mean, I've been exercising. That helps.
And swimming, right?
Yeah, that's the only exercise.
Okay.
I mean, they say it's the best exercise, and I do it because it's something I've always been good at. It comes natural to me. swimming. So that's the only. It's like the only exercise I can imagine doing.
Plus, you're splashing in the water.
Well, exactly. Well, I just do laps, man.
Oh, okay.
I just go lap.
You're not like cannonballing.
No, none of that. No, it's just got my goggles on.
Diving, yeah.
But I'm not in Speedos, so get that thought out of your mind. I'm wearing trunks. And this podcast is the second part. This thing that I'm trying to do to build those juices and try to get myself organized so I can have my, monotonous job. And also I find time, because the best writers out there, they started doing this with normal jobs also, and they said they were still putting down like 3 or 5 pages a day.
Were they really?
Yeah, that was just, you had to do it. You had to find time, and I'm like, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah,
I'm such a lazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
I didn't mean to agree with you on that one.
Well,
yeah,
you hurt my soul.
Unfortunately, in my situation with music and that sort of writing, it's very hard to be over the top kind of creative in this sort of industry, I guess, especially now.
What industry? Oh, the music industry?
Music industry. Okay. Not that
well, you were never
trying to be in the industry.
You were never really in there. You just were doing it, right?
Right. It's just very hard to get anyone to notice any kind of real complex.
Oh yeah,
maybe not complex writing, but
brilliance. That nobody is noticing his brilliance.
I'm not trying to get anyone to notice.
I can't even notice his brilliance because I don't know enough about music to know how brilliant his is. I just know that I like what he does.
But you got to hear some stuff a minute ago, and that was all me.
Yeah, but I can't explain how brilliant it is. I just know it sounded good.
I don't know if it's brilliant.
Yeah, but no one is noticing you because. One, you're not doing it so
I'm not
much.
doing much.
Yeah, and this environment wouldn't really support much.
Yeah, I was reading a thing the other day that was saying that I can't remember how it went, but basically the famous musicians that are now out there are now becoming even more and more famous.
Okay, yeah.
So the top earners in the industry
are sucking up all the money.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah,
and all of the.
And there's not very many of them, is the thing.
Yeah, there isn't. I mean, you could probably name the top 8, and they're the same one. They're the same 8 that's been around for 10 years now.
Yeah, and I don't know. I'm not that well read on the producers now who are producing for these people, or the who's engineering them, or
they're
who's
all
helping them write songs. But from what I kind of know, a lot of them use the same producers and a lot of different producers on one song.
Yeah,
which is kind of weird.
The result is kind of chaotic, but it's interesting. I mean, even some of this top pop stuff or whatever, there are a lot of elements going on and a lot of layers.
Oh, right. Just the whole engineering side, production side.
It's sonically interesting. I mean, I'm not saying it's
sonically. Yeah. It's neat how it works.
Yeah, it's neat how it works. It's neat how it sounds to the ear, all those little things going on. But what you lose is there's almost no session musicians.
No.
There's almost no live music.
Right.
Which takes a lot of the soul away.
Starting to sound the same.
Yeah, that happens too. Have you heard of the loudness war?
Yes.
This is
actually
something
cranking the songs.
Yeah, it's like in those peaks on the screen there, how they're just sort of low. The loudness war is all all the way up.
All the way up all the time.
And I know this from reviewing audio gear. The better the gear, the more you can hear those clippings, those compressions, how bad the loudness war makes all modern music sound. Not all, but a lot of it.
And not modern necessarily, but popular. Well, modern.
Unfortunately, it's worse than that. It's modern. I mean, almost all genres are doing this.
But you're talking about music that you'll hear on the radio.
Yeah, but I mean, even
so that's not necessarily
pop,
modern.
Well,
it's just popular.
I mean, it all depends on who's doing it. But I mean, there are studios that aren't doing it.
Okay,
but most of the big ones are.
Right. So you're talking about people who are producing and engineering in Hollywood.
Because this is not even the artist doing
LA.
it. This is the producers.
Right.
And the reason is because the humans tend to hear loud as better.
Better. Right.
Even though when you crank up all those dials and make everything compressed like
clipping.
that, there's clipping, and you're losing dynamic range, and you're losing
range,
air and depth that you can audibly hear in the music. And most of you won't notice this. You'll just notice that it sounds loud, right? But with me as a reviewer of high-end audio gear, the higher, the better the gear, the more you can hear that shit. And the more you don't want to listen to so much modern music. You want to go back to the 90s or below or before, and it just, there's more air and more breath and more stuff. And it's not about the musicians. It's not about how they're composing stuff. It's all about that mixer and what they're doing. You know, and it's just
and a lot of the
it's just sad.
Yeah, it really is. And a lot of the songs being written are
there's always that.
That too, which
you lose some of the.
If you listen, just go into like Applebee's, which I did for like the first time in 10 years.
Yeah,
my dad.
What were they playing?
It was just the same song but different songs over and over.
Oh, okay.
You know, just and so easy to know what was going to happen next, and just totally uninteresting music.
That's a shame. That's a damn shame. This is what keeps him up at night.
Oh, it does.
His idea that
I actually turn on 93.3.
What's that?
It's a station in town.
Okay.
Just to listen and laugh about what's out there right now.
Oh boy. Have you heard?
Pull it up now.
No, we can't do that.
No.
Have you heard of Gary Clark Jr.?
I know the name.
God, man, he's awesome.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's the new wave of jazz and blues mostly. Wow. Blues rock.
Oh wow.
The guy is just.
I know the name. I bet you I've heard him before. Is he local? No.
No. He's international now, but he came from America. Yeah, the guy basically he's proof that great things are still happening in music, and he's doing it. You know, and he's not the only one, but he's
right.
Yeah, I think in 2014 maybe he put out an album that Rolling Stones put as like the best new album of the year, and it was just blues, you know.
Oh wow,
and really good stuff.
Gary Clark Jr.
Yeah, I'll get you some of this music.
Okay, cool.
I enjoy.
Guy I've been listening to lately. His name's Andy Schaaf.
I haven't heard that.
Singer-songwriter from Saskatchewan, I think.
Canada?
Yes, I know. Good things.
Art comes from Canada.
I guess so.
Actually, yeah, they have to produce art. They have a law. They have to have a certain percentage of art that plays in Canada produced in Canada.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's you know, the network could get shut down or fined.
Oh, interesting.
It's hilarious.
Gosh. But this guy is great. He's a brilliant songwriter.
What kind of music is it?
It's really like singer-songwriter music, but it's full, 4 or 5 piece band.
Nice.
At the same time. So his, I think he's produced all his albums himself.
Cool.
And he may have even engineered all of them, but
then there's a chance the loudness war hasn't touched him.
Right. Oh, they sound great too.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're great. And
you're gonna have to send that to me.
Yeah,
because I've really enjoyed the Other Lives.
Yeah.
They're 2 albums. Do they only have 2?
I think they have 3.
Okay.
I think they have 3.
Really...
I think they have an EP.
Oh, okay.
With 3 or 4 songs on it.
I enjoy their 2 full albums. Listen to them often.
Another group. Oh gosh.
Now, what did you say?
Their name.
When you played me The Other Lives, you said you saw them live perform, and they were like the best thing you'd ever seen, or like in 20 years or something.
Yeah, their live show was, most of it was all just organic instruments, really, like guitars and drums and trumpet, violin, cello. And
organic, do you mean like a acoustic? Or was it some electric?
There was some electric. I guess, a lot of acoustic, just wooden instruments with strings or drums.
Nice. I love the sound of that stuff.
But it filled the space very well. It didn't seem mixed way back. It was just mixed so well, and so it just filled the room.
Lovely.
Yeah, they were just perfect live. Everything was perfect. If they ever come back,
I would love to see them.
Yeah, if they come back, we'll have to go.
Yes.
No matter how much it costs.
No matter how much.
Not that it'll be that much.
Who knows? Maybe they've blown
put
up.
a gun to our head and, tell us to give them $500, and we will.
Who's this? Who was the other guy you were talking about?
Andy Schaaf.
And you'll have to send me that, so I'll remember it, because I want to listen to that.
You'll really like it.
I do like singer-songwriter stuff. One of the audiophile greats that people have been getting into is Amber Rubarth.
Amber Rubarth.
Yeah.
Her
debut album, at least I think it was a debut, was Sessions from the 17th Ward.
Oh.
And this was recorded in binaural audio in a defunct hospital or a sane asylum or something like that.
Oh, God.
And it's just acoustically beautiful. You can hear some birds nesting in another room, off away, in the background. And it's just very echoey, but not too echoey. I mean, you can hear the venue.
Mm-hmm.
And
and you said how was it recorded?
Binaural.
Okay.
So that is it's one microphone, and the microphone has two ears.
Okay.
Which are kind of just ear-shaped funnels to funnel the sound in to that one microphone.
Oh, wow.
And the microphone's dead center, and it takes all the audio being played and just catches it like that.
So they were just in the room.
Exactly. It wasn't a studio
they weren't plugged
thing.
in or anything.
No, it was all acoustic.
Just all acoustic.
Yeah,
wow.
No amps.
That has to be a really interesting recording.
Well, there's a whole Chesky Records is a studio that does binaural records, and they do a lot of them. And talk about the best audiophile recordings. Wow. Those things will make your high-end audio gear sing like nothing else.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the space of it is so good, the depth of it.
Holy cow!
It's a treat, and that's just on a technical side. That's all geeky. But Amber Rubarth is a singer-songwriter woman who's just produces such lovely music. Wow. And she has big cellos and some violins.
Oh, I bet that sounds
And
great.
she does a guitar and sings her amazing songs. Yeah, it's great. I like it.
There's a band I just discovered earlier this week called Whitney. And I think they record everything to tape.
Oh.
Yeah, reel to reel.
Classic.
Yeah, and there's a guy that plays guitar with him who does his own projects. I think his name is Mac DeMarco. And anyway, he records everything to tape too. And you can really tell in the recordings.
Jack
so
White
great.
likes to do that a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he likes his tape. He likes his old school stuff.
I'd love to have a reel to reel. There's a place in Des Moines called Skylabs that I went to when I was up there. And this guy was trying to sell me a reel-to-reel. He said he got rid of...
Is it expensive?
It's more expensive than...
because you'd imagine a good one would be expensive.
Yeah, and
because you'd want it to be clean.
The actual reels of tape are a lot.
Oh, yeah. Because,
it's the most expensive way to listen to music that there actually is right now.
Yeah, because also just getting them... people don't listen to that anymore. So it'd be a rare thing, and they're going to charge you for that rareness.
I know. I feel like I need one, though.
Yeah. You've got your vinyl downstairs, and it sounds good.
Yeah. And I could put the reel-to-reel up here,
Well,
I need to bring the vinyl back up here.
Yeah, you got to consolidate it also. You have options. You don't want to, you're not going to walk around your house I want to listen to this, so I got to be in this room.
Right.
I want to listen to
basically
this.
I need to duplicate it upstairs and downstairs.
Yeah, I guess.
No, I don't have that kind of money.
You could set up some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We should look into that. I know a guy who can help me.
Who's that? Help you with what?
Lord
Oh,
Pinky.
me? Oh, shit. I can't
With
help you
whatever
with
I
anything.
need help with.
I don't know shit about anything. But I do have good equipment.
Yes, you do.
So, we've actually come to
Enough.
just about the end of our topics, except I got one more. It's a stupid add-on. And that is, have you ever had a day at work where you start sweating, it's hot, and you start to stink?
Worst days.
You start to stink, and you can't bear the stink anymore.
Of your own stench?
Yeah. And so you got to like go.
See, I'm not a hairy man like you are.
I am pretty hairy.
Mhm.
And you got to go into the bathroom, use some paper
Kinda
towels,
wipe
and some
yourself
soap,
down.
and literally like
This is the
wash
final
yourself.
topic?
Yeah.
Okay.
That happened to me today.
Okay.
Yeah, for whatever reason, our dress code's changing at work, and I'm still trying to adjust to what that means.
Ooh,
So
does
I
that
was
mean a polo or something?
could be,
Mm-hmm.
but the point is, I had on more clothes than I needed to, and I
Yeah.
couldn't take off the sweater I had because all I had was a t-shirt underneath, and you're not allowed to wear t-shirts anymore, and so I was just getting really hot and sweaty,
God.
and so I had to take a break to the bathroom, just take off my shirts,
Get a good
just
scrub down.
scrub down,
Mhm.
soap, water, and just
Is it a private bathroom?
yeah.
Okay, so you can.
Well, I mean, it's not private, but there's a lock.
Okay, so you
it's
can lock
into-
yourself
yeah,
in.
exactly.
You're not going to be shirtless,
Yeah, someone
soaping
walks
up
in
and
like there's a crazy,
bury-
hairy, fat man with no hair on his head, scrubbing down in the sink. It could happen. But have you ever had a day like that?
Oh, God, yeah. When we opened the building that I'm working in now, because it's been open not quite a year yet, it was insane for about a month and a half trying to prepare a building for opening.
I can imagine.
And it was in the middle of summer. June. It was June.
And in Kansas City, that's terrible.
Yeah. And, so running through that building at 100 miles an hour, 10, 12 hours a day, every day I turned into just a slime ball.
But you probably, at that point, had some things that you brought with you to help clean yourself up.
No. I
You
just went in the bathroom.
You just swung it every day? Or,
pretty much. Yeah.
okay.
What's the word?
Winged it. Winged it. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I just swung it around and
Swung what around, Joe? Yeah. Every day, though, huh? I would have started bringing some supplies.
no, I don't know. I guess I'm not that hygienic.
Yeah.
I take one shower in the morning and
then fuck off for the rest of
then
the day.
fuck it off for the rest of the day. Is this wine like extra alcoholic? Is this like 30% or something?
I doubt it. Didn't taste very strong to me. I mean, flavorful,
Making me feel
very strong, but the alcohol count didn't feel strong.
Maybe there's mescaline in this.
Yeah, we had some Thai food before got together.
Mm-hmm.
Spicy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
beer. Then came back to his place to start the podcast. We didn't start for hours. And we've been drinking wine.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm pretty much on
Pretty much
water right
done.
now. Yeah.
I'm looking at the... Oh,
You're
here
having
we
trouble
go.
finding the alcohol?
13 and a half.
That's normal for wine.
Yeah. It's since I've been drinking this, I've had it the past couple of nights, and seems like there's something extra in it. Not like it's
he's
been
losing
tainted
his
with
mind.
drugs or something, but
No,
I feel different after I drink this, like a little,
tipsy. Well,
not even tipsy, just like
do you
really
drink,
mellow.
Do you drink wine normally, or is it just beer?
Not normally.
See, that's the thing.
But this is my first experience feeling like this after drinking wine.
Okay. Well, I don't do wine very often, but one time I specifically was like, all right, we're gonna party, and I bought a big bottle of Cabernet.
Oh yeah,
Man, 2 glasses of that, and I was really
about
drunk.
on your ass. Huh?
Yeah. Wine can do it to you, man.
Yeah,
It's not the same as beer.
yeah. I don't know.
And I almost feel
guess
like
so.
wine is a really good drink. It's one that I should probably drink more of.
It's good for you.
Yeah, it's
Damn
good for
sure.
you. Alcoholism is always good for you.
Oh yes, you still have some in your glass over there.
Yes,
too.
I'll finish it before we leave. But,
I'm looking at it from over here thinking, ooh.
you're gonna climb over the desk and take it. Like, you had your chance, Pinky.
Part of me really just wants to get out on this roof behind us here and enjoy some of that cool breeze.
It would be a nice night for that.
I don't know if we should be doing that in our current state.
Well, our state's fine. I mean, I think we're just tired mostly.
Maybe that's what it is. It's been a long-ass week.
It's 10, 11.
Yeah.
And we've been up since early morning.
And I had to be at work an hour early this morning. Oh, shit.
So you were there my time, basically,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
7 o'clock?
I was there at 7.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It's tough being anywhere at 7. There shouldn't be people should just be asleep at that time.
I never feel quite right until at least lunchtime. At least.
That's about the same for me. What do you do for lunch normally?
This entire week, I went out for lunch every day. Every single day. Yeah. I try to occasionally prepare meals and lunches for the week.
Preparing.
Yeah.
Really bad at it.
Sid really nice.
Sid doesn't like doing that for you?
God, no. She's never done it, ever. Not even once. She's never even thought about it.
Well, good for her. A modern woman like that.
Yeah. Matter of fact, would be more inclined to do that for her.
Because my little sister does that for her husband all the time.
Oh, does she really?
Yeah, even before they had like children, they were building a family. It was just how she wanted to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Must be nice.
Must be.
I hear about those girls occasionally.
Yeah, I don't know any.
They're out there. But more often I hear about guys like me who wake up in the morning and just
they haven't prepared anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they make breakfast?
Yeah, there's a guy at work who gets up every morning and makes breakfast for him and his wife.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's not me. God. I can't do anything in the morning.
But they go to bed at 8:30.
Well, I can't laugh at that, man. Most nights I take my my melatonin. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
I just have to do it every night. I take it at 8, and then I usually get to bed around 9:30.
Really?
That's my hope.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't happen, but it's just like I go to bed so early. I just get so tired.
No, that's great. I would love to do it. I need to learn again how to start winding down.
Yeah.
I'm just so bad at it, and it takes me time.
I don't know if I do much for winding down.
It just takes me time to actually get to the point of where I'm mentally relaxed.
Yeah. I don't really do that. I don't wind down like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just take my melatonin and wait until I wait like an hour and a half after I've taken it, where I'm just sort of like dead on my feet, and I'm like, all right, now if I go to bed, there's a good chance that I'll fall asleep soon, or semi soon. Oh yeah, because sleep has been one of those things that has been hard for me to come by ever since I was a kid.
Yeah,
very little kid. I mean, I remember being 5 or 8 or something, just ridiculously young, laying in bed for hours just trying to shut my mind off.
Yeah.
And thoughts would keep coming, just random thoughts. I was a thinker.
A ponderer.
And all those tricks, like counting sheep and shit, that never worked.
Now, I tried that. I have tried that even recently, and it actually kind of worked. But then the second I started thinking about it, it woke me up.
Yeah.
Very hard for me to shut things down.
I got into meditation.
Yeah,
and
I knew you'd done
in
that
practicing
for a while.
meditation, I started to realize that the counting sheep thing was kind of like that.
Right.
It was like a mantra that you could use to sort of let your mind drift and float.
Mm-hmm.
And once I realized that, I don't count sheep, but I do use some meditation techniques in my mantra, my secret special mantra.
Ooh, what is your mantra?
I can't tell you, otherwise demons will find you and eat you,
too late.
And then they'll find me and eat me. Certain meditation techniques have, in recent years, like in the last 2 years, has helped me calm myself down and sleep better. It's not
really?
It's not a 100%
total cure.
Yeah. There are definitely some times where it is impossible or seemingly impossible to get my mind to shut down. But it has definitely helped.
Mm-hmm.
I have more nights that I drift off.
What's
sooner.
your caffeine intake like during the day?
Oh, low.
Oh, is it really?
I take every morning. I have a coffee of a varying size. You know, sometimes it's a large, sometimes it's a smaller, medium one. But that one cup of coffee.
You take that with you from home? Or do you stop off for a cup, or do you get it at work?
Well, here's sometimes I'll bring it from home. Sometimes I'll stop off. But the point is, that one cup never gets refilled.
Oh, so
I drink it and sip it all day.
Oh, wow.
Usually around lunchtime, I finally
it's
finish
gone.
it.
Yeah.
And that's it. No more coffee. No more
coffee.
caffeine.
See, I'm the guy that goes back after lunch. 1:32.
Yeah.
Then I got to get another coffee.
A lot of
to
people
push
do.
myself to 5 o'clock.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
I haven't had that problem. Like if I get out of bed, and I get my coffee, I'm usually able to manage.
Really?
I mean, unless I've had a really bad night.
I'm 2 cups in before 9 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. And I get to work at 8. I get my first cup, and then right around 9:30, I'm probably starting on my second cup.
I nurse mine.
And then I push
hours.
through until after lunch, and then I'm about a 3 cup a day guy. And that's about 12 ounce cup.
There are worse.
Yeah,
I've heard there are definitely worse. But for me, it's just that one that I just sip for hours.
I wonder if I could sip one and just kind of have it slowly kind of push me through the day instead of.
Well, from what I understand about
quickly.
the science of caffeine in your brain, it might be impossible to go backward like that.
Impossible?
Impossible. I think you're doomed.
Oh, God.
You can only push farther, not retreat.
Drink more.
Yeah. To get that same buzz, because your brain starts building tolerances to it, and there's nothing you can ever do to fix that. You got to just drink more.
I don't know.
That might not be entirely true.
Well, there was a day.
I'm not an expert.
Maybe 6 months ago, where I had no coffee, and it was about 10 a.m.
That's okay.
It was around 10 a.m., 10:30.
Did you get like a really good night's sleep or something?
No. This was, I had gotten to work.
Yeah.
And I was going through my day, running around, and it got to be around 10:30, and I started to feel really, really weird.
Okay.
Weird to the point of where it felt like things were moving really slow. Like really, really slow.
You were hitting exhaustion, basically.
Yeah, it felt like something was completely missing. So I walked to my car from the front door, which is 100 yards away, and that walk was just so weird. You know when you slow the speed down on music?
Yeah.
The RPMs, you just slow it down and the voices get low, and that's kind of what it was like. I went to my car to drive across the street to Starbucks, and I got my coffee and I was better, but it was just really strange.
There have been, I'd say 2 or 3 times where I was sick. Like usually when I come down with something, I'll take a day off.
Yeah.
Especially during the worst of it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been 2 or 3 times where I had a bug or something that, yes, there was some congestion and whatnot, but mostly it hit me in the mind. It made me so tired, so foggy, that it really felt like I was taking a drug. It felt like I was high. I mean, I was so exhausted that it just felt.
What did you end up doing?
Going to work and just taking I'm not an energy drink guy.
Yeah.
But I would take energy drinks because I was like so exhausted. And so I would go to work with like 2 monsters.
How did you feel though?
With the energy drinks?
No, I mean, how did you feel other than that? Were you said you were kind of congested?
It was just like maybe a sore throat and some congestion.
But it just totally drained you.
Well, it was more than just draining me. It was like it was like walking through a vortex. Like kind of like how you were describing walking through that door.
Yeah,
it was just like everything was surreal. You almost felt good. You felt so bad. You know, like a Vicodin kind of thing. You know,
right.
It was just like you were high.
Yeah.
And everything was just so trippy.
But it was okay because you felt almost euphoric.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was okay, but it was at least made it interesting. Except the fact that you were so tired, and I needed to keep up the energy drinks, and I don't drink energy drinks.
Mm-hmm. Did it help?
A little, like the way
twisted.
The way I could tell that it was helping was that my eyes were not drooping as much.
Yeah,
like sitting at my desk, it was like it was so hard to keep my eyes open. While I was doing the energy drinks, it's not like I was wired.
Yeah,
you could feel when you're wired. No, instead it was just I didn't feel that fight to keep the eyes open. Yeah. But that was about as much as it happened. I mean, I don't really caffeine doesn't affect me as much as some people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think you have a very high tolerance for things.
Yeah, probably
that I've noticed, except for alcohol.
Yeah, I get drunk fast.
Yeah, but
other things that I've never done.
Like. Yeah, other things that you've never done.
Yeah, other things that
you can have a lot of.
We've experimented with some things before.
Yeah, nothing too crazy.
No, but yeah, I guess I have a tolerance for it to a degree.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. I mean, you've always been able to handle all of that stuff way more than me.
He's definitely tried. He'll be like, "Now hit that gently." I'll be like,
right.
He's like, "Oh God."
Yeah, and you're always, for the most part, you're always just.
Fine.
Not that you wouldn't be fine, but at the same time, it's like, man, you're gonna be.
Well, I'm always
on the planet here.
I think part of it is also that I'm always looking for an escape. You know, not like suicide. I mean like that.
Right.
I'm just like I'm looking for an altered state. I'm looking for something to shake me in a way that is new and unusual, and it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah,
and so I'm always a little reckless when it comes to trying new things.
You're just gonna go for it.
Yeah, I'm just like, give me 12.
Yeah,
let's see what happens. Let's take a walk, experiment, see what the world is going to offer me.
We should take a walk at some point.
We should, but you know, we're so old that walking is painful now.
I can't even imagine walking around.
I know, it's like
if I didn't have to.
Yeah, it's like. It's just it doesn't feel the same anymore. So, I mean, it's good for us. Walking's good, but it's hard on our old bodies.
We're tired.
Yeah,
we got out on the back porch, and the first thing you said was,
"I got."
There was a chair there, and you said, "God, I gotta sit down."
Yeah, and I felt it too.
I could tell.
But to be fair, I had just come back from an hour of swimming laps.
And eating Thai food.
Not
at the same time.
So, yeah, like I have, you know, I have my excuses for being a little loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
My muscles are just kind of like, oh.
And my week was just insane at work. I spend a lot of time running all over that building all day.
That does sound
really
like
do.
Exercise.
Yeah.
But not good exercise.
It's just exhausting.
Do your feet kill you?
My feet do hurt. Most of the floor I walk on is actually concrete floors.
Bummer.
Yeah.
You need some New Balance shoes. Is that what you got?
I got these Nikes right now.
Fuck Nikes. You need New Balance shoes.
Do. Now, I've always worn New Balance. I have.
Yeah, okay.
And until I got these.
Oh, okay. So Nike destroyed New Balance for you.
I guess so. No wonder my feet hurt so bad. I bought these in Minnesota. That could be another reason.
Well, why did you buy shoes in Minnesota?
Well, we were walking around some trails. And it was raining.
You saw a need.
And my feet started getting wet. And I looked at the bottom of my shoe, and I had a huge hole in the bottom of my shoe.
I did too when I got my new shoes.
Did you really?
The guy at New Balance was like, you should have replaced these a long time ago. I mean, you could, if you just sort of pulled on them with your own human strength, they would have come apart in two. They were really
I had an actual hole in the bottom of mine, like the size of a quarter.
Yeah. My
And it
whole
was just from
soles
wear.
were coming off. Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's just wear. I mean, I find that my shoes go about 3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I think these are going to last a while.
Why? What makes you say that? Because of the Nike swoosh.
I think it's the swoosh.
They're going to last forever.
No, they'll probably be toast tomorrow.
Okay, I think they'll
probably
last
just
longer than
fail
that.
tomorrow.
Well, we've gone about an hour.
Have we really?
Yeah.
What did we say?
Nothing good.
Yeah.
Nothing good.
You think anyone will ever listen to this?
God, I don't know. What do you think, audience? Do we have an audience? Listeners?
No,
Text us at blah, 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 blah. We don't actually have one yet.
Bob blah blah.
You'll figure it out. Let us know if you care. If we care. We're so tired. We're ready to go. All right. Well, that's it for Strum and Scribe with
Sir Garatone
and Lord Pinky.
Thanks for tuning in.
All right. Bye-bye.